Go.
All right, we're coming in hot. So this has been an interesting topic of conversation here. Mark's pretty wired on an energy drink, and Ryan and Eric got super excited for this one.
I'm sweating.
I'm along for the ride here for the most part. What we're going to talk about today is we've called it the Craigslist hunter, we've called it the eBay hunter, whatever it might be. Essentially, this is we've discussed hunting a fair amount on this podcast thus far. Mark is removing his quarter zip right now because he knows it's going to get heated. And some of the stuff we've talked about, undoubtedly, it's hard to deny the fact that the general sense of things is that maybe that you have to spend a lot of money in order to be able to go out and go on a hunt. And we believe that this really isn't necessarily the case. Now,
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be, exactly. So perhaps there's times if you were going to go on a sheep hunt in Alaska once in a lifetime, maybe you don't want to raid Craigslist and eBay and get the cheapest stuff available. Maybe you want to, invest more wisely in your equipment so that once in a lifetime opportunity, you're set up the best for success. But generally speaking, we kind of tried to keep this to, say, your first time going out there hunting, or you're a beginner hunter. And you hear a lot of people talk about hunting, but for some reason, it just winds up, it's like mission creep. They wind up just, and then you can get this, and you can get that, and you can get this. And all of a sudden, the bill is at like $2,000 to go on a squirrel hunt. We don't think that's the case. So, Eric, would you say that's where this came from? You kind of brought this up, right?
Yep. We actually had a discussion going on one of our social media pages where people were talking about hurdles that kept them from getting in hunting, and one of them was price.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, let's talk about.
And it's fitting too because we have a lot of podcasts in the hopper, so I don't know exactly when this one's going to get aired. But at the day of this recording, the ultralight hunting podcast was aired. Now, undoubtedly, when you start talking about some of that highly technical gear, the costs can go up. But this is going to be a little less technical. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I've ever seen Eric make a spreadsheet in my entire life. And it's
very nice, too. I'm looking at it. It's very adept.
We discussed spreadsheets in the ultralight hunting podcast, and Eric was kind of like, yeah. So was I. And yet here we are with these very detailed lists. We got Ryan Muckenhern here. Mark, as we mentioned, pretty hopped up on some monster.
I went with the ineligible,
illegible,
illegible.
What words are you saying?
Ineligible.
Illegible. I'm having trouble with my words.
That's all right.
I'm on the juice, Jim.
Well, hey, let's use that. This is also going to be kind of semi-live, too, because actually, if you're watching this, too, you might see us on our phones or computers here. We're still researching. We gave ourselves about 20 to 25 minutes to try and find this. So undoubtedly, with a little more effort and time, you could find probably even better stuff for even cheaper or whatever. But let's just go through our list, all right? So we're going to kind of compile our lists into one at the end here, but we're each going to individually go through our thought process behind some of the things that we found, where we found them, and Ryan is feeling real confident over there because Ryan's got some backstory to this type of searching. Why don't you dive in on that?
A couple things. We assigned a $700 maximum budget to this based on an $8.75 minimum wage, 40 hours a week, 80-hour pay period. Okay, so if you're a working class stiff and you're pulling minimum wage, this here's a paycheck. So that's kind of where this came out, and we got into discussion about the gear that we were getting or looking for, and we're like, you can't. Does it have to be good? Does it have to be great? Does it have to be name brand? And arguably no, because if I look back at my youth, how I started hunting and the gear that I had, it was purchased out of the classified section of the local newspaper in my hometown of Hutchinson, Minnesota, and surrounding communities. So I remember very distinctly driving to Glencoe, Minnesota, which is a 20-minute drive from my hometown, to get my first pair of blaze orange bibs, hat, gloves, and parka from an older gentleman that was approximately my size. My father came. There was an exchange of cash. It was a very serious thing. But anyway, $700 budget. And here's how I broke it down. I broke it down into 3 categories: duck, deer, and turkeys. And then there's going to
Solid
be
way to do it.
yeah, there's some redundancy in this. So, for instance, the jacket that I can wear for ducks, I can also wear for deer, and I can also wear for turkeys. And then, if I, for instance, did not put like wool socks down, because you may have socks already, right? So does that work? Do you want me to just go through the list here on how I rounded this out?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the firearm, because this is a very important piece required to harvest game.
It is.
I selected the H&R single shot 12 gauge. This is a very common firearm. Very, very iconic American single shot. Many of us started with the H&R single shot or a similar model. I went on gunbroker.com. I found one for sale for $140. Buy it now. Okay, so 12 gauge. Got that. Starting with the ducks, I went on Craigslist. I set the search parameter to 50 miles within our region here in Barneveld, Wisconsin. I found 36 Featherlight Mallard decoys, $50. These are the inflatable decoys that pack down, very small. I found a pair of new in-box neoprene waders, size 12, on Craigslist, $50.
Gosh, you're good at this.
I found on Amazon a Duck Commander Old Raspy duck call.
Oh, raspy.
Double read?
I didn't say.
Talk dirty to
I'm
him.
sure though, double read. You got Old Raspy. You're gonna that old hand. It's double read. I bet.
It's got to be.
10
Does it also have kind of like a
little whistle to
when
it? Yeah.
says?
Yeah. $10.99. Okay.
Okay.
On Sportsman's Guide, one box of Expert high velocity number 3s, 3-inch from Winchester, $8.99, 25 cartridges, shells, I should say.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on from the duck. So that should complete your duck hunt, right? You
Yep.
got everything you need. Moving on from the duck to the deer, I found a climbing stand on Craigslist, okay, up in Baraboo, which is just north of us here, $50.
Whoa.
No need for tree steps, okay? That's money saving. On cheaperthandirt.com, I found one box of Winchester rifled high velocity slugs, 12 gauge, $4.89.
Wow.
On Sportsman's Guide, I found one grunt call by the Flextone Call Company, $11.99. Grunt them in.
Man, and you're throwing some extras in here.
I'm setting you up for success.
I'm actually almost starting to wish that we would have had you go last, because now
Yeah,
my
I'm-
list
I'm
is going to seem
pivoting.
kind of crap. I'm pivoting. Pivot.
All the accoutrement.
Yeah. Anyway, continue, sir.
Moving on to turkey specific. One Primos diaphragm, okay? Modified V cut, which is my favorite cut.
Used.
No, this is new. Cheaper than dirt. Primos diaphragm, modified V cut, $5.94. I have killed a turkey with this call. One HS strut decoy, the Featherlight or the Featherflex, very lightweight foam decoy, very popular, $30.96.
Where at?
This was also at cheaperthandirt.com.
Sticking true to its name.
Yep.
I'm going to throw something out there, though.
I'm listening.
A nice to have. Not
decoy.
you do not need a decoy to kill turkeys.
No, correct. And
True.
Yep.
True.
Yep.
So I'm just going to throw that out there as a potential savings. I mean, I know you've thrown out some bargains there, Ryan.
If
but
anybody's
a person,
if
Let's say
anybody's
somebody wants to
listening
go out
this,
and get
though,
one of these saws. If you're watching on YouTube right now, I got this neat little nifty folder saw that I'm super stoked on. You could potentially get this saw instead.
you could. In regards to the decoy, Mark says it's not required. In a podcast long ago, Mark mentioned never bushwhacking a turkey. He said he's never
which
done it.
actually I actually recounted whatever that statement, because I was going through my mental catalog. I'm like, man, have I not done that? And I made that statement, and on the drive home, I'm like, oh no, I bushwhacked that one. Yeah, bushwhacked that one. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the old bushwhacker.
But that's
So,
a pretty.
I lied.
It's
I
pretty
publicly
subjective,
lied.
though. If you call a turkey in, I don't think that's bushwhacking him.
No, I'm talking like intercept, jump one up.
That's bushwhacking.
Yeah.
Right. So you're right. Decoy not required. Nice thing to have, though. Shells. This is at the Sportsman's Guide. This is without the Sportsman's Guide membership, so keep that in mind. You get a better deal if you get a membership to Sportsman's Guide. One box of Winchester 2 3/4 inch number 5 high velocity turkey loads. That is a copper-plated lead shell, $9.09. Okay, so moving on to some redundant gear. This is gear that you can wear during any one of these things. So you're saving yourself some money by buying once. On Craigslist, again, 50-mile radius from here at Barneveld, I found one camouflaged hunting coat, size large, $60. I found one set of camouflage bibs, size extra large, for $15. Same seller.
What?
Yep. Probably get a package deal. I found one pair of size 12, 800-gram insulated boots. Now, it's be a little heavy on the insulation side, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not bad. $35. Craigslist. For a pack, Craigslist, I found a Bianchi brand hunting pack. Looked to be about a 25-liter pack. $30. On Amazon.com, one Rapala fish and fillet. Well, their classic.
Oh, I got that on mine too.
Yep, their classic fillet knife, $17.
Oh, I found it for $15.67 at one of the either Fleet Farm or Farm and Fleet. I can't remember which one. $15.67.
I opted into a Maglite, a little bit of opulence here. The Maglite Mini LED, so a very high efficiency product, $13.11.
Wow.
I found a Craigslist bargain here for miscellaneous blaze orange and game prep accessories. This had a blaze orange hat, a vest, gloves. It had cleaning gloves and game bags, $47. And of course, a pair of Vortex Optics Raptor 8.5 by 32 binoculars, $99.99. Your local Vortex dealer. Rounding out my total to $689.97. I've got money left over for gas.
Oh, very nice. Wow.
That's where I'm at.
That was impressive what you just did there. That was pretty amazing. But we're going to keep going here though. And I think there's more discussion points here because, for example, I chose a different optic than you did, and maybe we can talk about that a little bit as well. Eric, you're next up on the block here. What does your kit look like? Maybe explain some of the items, kind of like Ryan did with his.
All right. Well, so I'm going to start out with my total. I spent $668. Different from what Ryan did. Ryan, I don't believe you had any archery tackle in there, did you?
I didn't.
Okay, so I actually do have archery tackle and a firearm in my setup. The first thing I found was for $175 on Facebook Marketplace. I found a Golden Eagle compound bow complete kit. This had broadheads, arrows, quiver, sight, everything you needed to go deer hunting today. Is it the best bow in the world to go kill a deer with? Probably not, but it'll get you going. From there, also on Facebook Marketplace.
Dude, yeah, you found that Facebook Marketplace. That was pretty slick.
As I go through and mention stuff, Facebook Marketplace is by far my most referred source.
It seems like, I've been looking at that and just hearing people talk about that lately for really anything, right? Any item.
Yeah.
But it's definitely getting used a lot, and you can find some solid deals on it.
Yep.
I saw
that are in your area.
For sale there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Somebody was nice place.
Yeah.
Nice place.
Wow.
Moving on, I also have, and this I found for free, also on Facebook Marketplace. It was a really old, really faded field line camo jacket. It was just a shell, uninsulated, kind of similar to like your Carhartt zip up, hooded sweatshirt or whatever.
Real quick, Eric, didn't you recently buy a bunch of stock in Facebook?
Collusion? I think not. Anyways.
Yeah, maybe he'll finally make them a little bit more friendly to people like us.
Exactly. So I also found a field line backpack for $10 on Facebook Marketplace.
That's pretty good.
It's basically something to carry your books in, but it'll get you hunting. For deer, turkey, squirrel, stuff like that, it's going to get the job done.
Yep.
H&R single shot 12-gauge shotgun on Gunbroker for $189. Now, this is something
that's got to be brand new.
That is brand new.
All right.
Yeah, you could probably find that for about $100 if you really.
I 140 used. Buy it now. We could have gotten a bidding war.
Mine on.
Yeah.
We could have split it.
Now, I don't know what shipping would have been for you guys, but mine was locally. I found it for $150.
Really? Wow.
That's pretty good. You're right though. There's probably shipping, probably an FFL transfer.
Yeah.
So here was my biggest pivot that I made, Ryan, while you were going through yours. I was looking at stuff, and one thing that popped into my head was solids. I had, for my insulated camouflage, for my insulated garments, I had camouflage, and that racked me up to $98. I had an insulated Primaloft jacket from Cabela's. I found used on Facebook for $50, and then I found a $48 pair of camouflage insulated hunting bibs. I got rid of those, and I found a Carhartt insulated coverall just in brown for $25. So that saved me about $75.
Right there, yeah.
Then beyond that, underneath I have thermal long underwear from Fleet Farm for $32. I have a Guide Gear tree stand for $15, and then another $15 for tree steps.
Now, let's talk about that deer stand real quick for $15.
What? Wait, hold on a second.
I gotta find this.
That was a 15er?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something right now, brother. I think you're better off just climbing the tree.
Sitting on a branch.
I mean, it's not a good tree stand. I've hunted in $30 brand new tree stands, and those things are bad, and that's what this is. But it'll get you in the woods.
But it's
it'll get you out.
$15.
You know, I use those tubular square tubing frame ladder stands a lot.
Yep.
I buy those by the gross from like Menards. Every season, I like put new ones up around the property.
Yeah.
I've got all these great stand sites. You just get that rickety ladder.
Yep.
It's perfect.
In grade school, we once put our principal and hung her up on the wall by duct tape. And
also,
you
could
almost just hang yourself
There
to a
you
tree
go.
by duct
you
tape.
need a partner for that one though.
It's a good point.
Yeah,
There you go.
duct tape's cheap though.
You know, that actually makes me wonder, not the duct tape, but if you found someone who had, and I don't know, this might actually be more expensive, but if you found, someone who is a lineman or something, or a forester, I wonder if you could find a used, like, lineman's belt or something and just hunt out of that.
Make yourself kind of like a bow harness.
Yeah, like a saddle. Yeah, I wonder if you could do that.
That'd
I don't
be
know,
pretty
though.
slick.
Anyways, found size 10 rubber boots on Facebook Marketplace for $5. They may or may not keep your feet dry.
Holes included.
Yeah. Found some insulated LL Bean vintage boots on Facebook Marketplace for $25. A Yes for All fixed blade knife at Walmart.com for $6.
What?
I've never heard of. I have it up right here on my browser.
And if it was dull, you can just sharpen it on a rock.
Rolling
look at
back
that
prices.
thing. Look at that. It's got a gut hook on it.
Whoa.
Pretty good.
Well done.
Rolling back prices.
Pretty good.
Okay. Back to my spreadsheet.
Inevitably, too, the other thing you just know is going to happen is because we're mentioning where to find these things. These days, it seems like every single retailer, brand, person, thing, entity, molecule of air disagrees with you in some way. So note that we're not saying whatever political or socio whatever view any of these places have, please do not take this as that all of a sudden Vortex is just
These are not endorsements.
Yeah, you gotta say that these days, or else someone's gonna tell you, I can't believe you're shopping at blankety blank. And no, hey, we're helping you. We're trying to give some good ideas to get out there and get hunting. All right, and if you can use one of these places, maybe that you disagree with or whatever, to get a really dang good deal and get out in the field and just get hunting, I don't know.
That's what
I guess
matters.
that's
the important part.
Well, I think something to keep in mind is also the context of our searching. This is in the last. We gave ourselves 20 minutes to find these items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fast and furious, finger typing, finding.
Assuming that you have no friends. I'm not in like a mean way, but like that you can't just go to somebody who does hunt and be like, hey, could I buy some gear off you? This is
Exactly.
all assuming that you're using online.
You don't have hand-me-downs from anybody or anything like that.
Yep.
$7 orange unisex safety vest from Fleet Farm. $100 for the Vortex Raptor binoculars. I have $15 here for tree steps. I was kind of, thinking about that and the benefit, like to your point of using a climber.
Man.
Yeah, that's probably the way to go.
I'm telling you.
$5, $4.99. The Brenneke KO slugs.
Good slug.
Yeah.
Good slug.
That's the first one I ever used, I
From
think.
Fleet Farm. Yeah.
Very nice.
And then now here I have miscellaneous shotgun ammo, $30. So by that I mean you can probably find yourself a box of Black Cloud for $16-ish. I know you can find the Federal 3rd Degree for turkey hunting for about $13, $10 if you watch the sales prior to the turkey season. Okay, now all of this is going to be crossover for my turkey and ducks. For turkey, literally the only thing I have in my turkey column is a decoy and call combo for $10 that I found on Facebook Marketplace. The decoy looks maybe like a turkey.
All the paint's all chipped off. It's the foam ones now.
Yep,
it's just like a brown figure of a bird.
And then the call is just an old used box call. But I think for a new turkey hunter, I'm assuming that these people who are looking about doing this are new hunters. I would argue that a box call or a slate call is going to be more intuitive and easier to call than a...
Good point.
And I'd say probably the box of the two.
Box call is my first turkey call.
Yep.
Cuts the wind, loud call. You can get quiet on it.
You can do that awesome purrs in the box, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pretty much darn near every turkey.
You can gobble on
you'd
the
wanna
box
make.
call.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last thing on the list I found for $20 on Facebook Marketplace, 4 Duck Commander calls for $20. And then I have the notes here that all of this stuff would also work for squirrels, rabbit, grouse, you name it. Your Midwestern hunting or whatever, your entry-level hunting, this will get you going. $668.
You didn't have any duck decoys, though.
I didn't. You're hunting on the X, man. You got to be where they want to be, and then those decoys don't matter.
He just packed my lunch for me.
You guys, okay. You guys are going to have to help me out here because you're far more experienced than I am. Also, I have done 0 waterfowling in my life. So waterfowling wasn't exactly included in on mine, but I know that potentially some of the stuff that I haven't mentioned here, or I guess that I have on my list, could be crossover. So just feel free to just call stuff out here as we're going. But all right, I was thinking small game. My first hunt was a squirrel hunt. I guess no, it was a hog hunt, but then like that wasn't a helicopter. It was fun, but it was kind of weird.
I agree.
The first one was like ground hunting and stuff like that was squirrel. Very fun. But I'm thinking here, I got the Rapala knife, like I said, that Ryan mentioned. One of the Fleet Farm combinations of those words, 1567. On eBay, I found a set of Montrail Tora GTX boots, size 13, $7 plus $16 shipping. So, yeah, I mean, they're used. Also, I'm not a size 13, but... No, but then I actually found two I went on Amazon, and I found these Honeywell rubber, 100% waterproof, 14-inch tall, soft toe men's work boots that I could actually get in my size for $18.
Pretty
brand
solid.
new. And then on eBay, I found used wool socks, which can be kind of funky, right? But hey, the whole point of this is shopping on the cheap, right? So these 5 pair used wool socks for also $18. Description from somebody with 100% positive seller feedback. And the description I can't really find. I think they just... Oh, wait, here we go. I believe they are size 10 to 12. These are the common wool blend styles. No holes, great condition. See pictures. So those look pretty solid. What else do I got on here? Oh, as far as the gun goes, so I also went the shotgun route. We discussed this. So shotgun is pretty much you can do anything.
That is...
actually... You can do anything with it.
Yep.
There doesn't need to be a pretty much in there.
Yeah.
You can do anything with a shotgun.
I know a guy who went antelope hunting with a shotgun.
Seriously?
He did.
Well, it's not a whole lot different than you antelope hunting with a 45-70 high wall.
That's true. It would not have been my first recommendation, but God's honest, he shot an antelope.
Slug, that I have to imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. 12 gauge?
Yeah.
Frickin' A.
It was a bolt action Mossberg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right on.
One of those hyper accurate slug guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the things.
So I went on the local arms list, and I guess, just without really trying, gained a little bit of a reputation around here as the arms list buyer. I've had some interesting dealings on Arms List in the past. Not dealings sound so scary or weird or illegal.
Interactions.
No, they're very legal. But yeah, no, I mean, Arms List is a great place. I've never had a bad encounter yet, and I think I've either bought or sold something on Arms List about 9 or 10 times. Still here today to talk about it. Pistols, rifles, shotguns. But anyway, so I got the H&R 12 gauge we've mentioned a couple times here. I found it locally for $150. I'm sure you could find it for cheaper if you really had more than 20 minutes to look. But that's what I found it for. Also, locally, there was a Remington 870 Wingmaster rifle barrel 12 gauge shotgun used for $275 on there with a nice, pretty looking wood stock, wood forend. And then, so let's say we were getting fancy because I actually came in just shy of $500, so I had a little money to spend. Actually, just shy of $500 with this added option that I have in here. You can go on eBay and find, wait for it, somewhere, or was it Amazon? I've lost it entirely. I have so many things, windows open on. I found a smoothbore Remington 870 barrel for $98.
That's a killer deal.
Wow.
And you can get that. It comes with a modified choke, and it's threaded to accept aftermarket chokes. And so you could do a barrel swap. You could have a rifled barrel on that shotgun that it comes with that you get right on Arms List, or you could swap it out, put it in a smooth, and then go shoot other things.
Golly.
That's huge.
I have limited experience with shotguns, to tell you the truth. So I'm talking on my butt here a little bit, but I know that there's a lot to be loved.
I guarantee that Wingmaster shoots more than our single shot H&R.
That's right. That's right.
You can get a couple shells in the old tube. Clothes. Okay, so clothes, I went on eBay once again and found a hunting lot. Shirts, pants, gloves, hats, etc. Look, in all caps. So the bidding right now is at $40, and this ends in 23 hours at the time of this recording, plus $11 shipping. And these clothes, now, like, if I zoom in on here, you guys will see there's Under Armour.
Oh, yeah.
There's like
Insane.
hand warmers. There's Under Armour like fleece line gloves. There's also an Under Armour like winter like thick glove.
There's a Sitka
There's a
balaclava.
Sitka balaclava in here. Oop, hold on. There's a Kuiu hat. And there's a bunch of other stuff. There's a couple different. There's like a blaze orange hat for you, a Carhartt blaze orange hat. Oh, there's another. This one blending in with the tile in the background of his photo. There's another balaclava kind of thing. But you're going to be nice and warm with that alone. And then over here, he's got some various camo pants that look. He's got like a probably would be more of a base layer pant, and then.
It just goes on and on.
It goes
there's
on.
a lot
There's,
of good stuff here.
Yeah,
we
here,
got to
let me zoom back
screenshot
out.
this and put it
Yeah,
in
we
the
do.
show notes.
Then he's got kind of like a base layer here, top camo.
Be a good turkey layer. There's a good turkey layer.
There's a
right
good
there.
turkey
I'm telling
layer
you
right here.
there.
This one's got like kind of the old trees and leaves on it, camo. We got another base layer here that's just kind of a solid brown. It almost looks like it might be some sort of a performance-y cotton, perhaps. I don't know. I don't think it's merino, but it's kind of got that look to it as a base layer. Just another one that would go right over the top of that. A quarter zip here. Another quarter zip.
That's a good base layer.
Yep.
That's a
This is a
Cabela's like.
Cabela's-
The ECWS
Yeah,
base
yep,
layer.
exactly.
Yeah, right there. So, and then this last one here is a
Oh,
little
nice vest.
Mark loves
Mark.
the vest. This one has a very interesting pattern to it. Reminds
Yeah.
me of
Open
kind of my-
country.
Yeah.
Kind of my. Oh, is that what that
I
was?
think so.
I thought I saw it on my grandma's ottoman one time, but you could almost never see it sometimes. It just
Yeah.
disappear. And then just another like fleece top. So this, can you believe how many things are in this? This is like
It's
just a
pretty-
plethora of things.
That's
pretty
the
big
find
deal.
of the,
And-
of the show.
So it was all of those things.
All of these things. It's the whole lot, hunting clothes lot, shirts, pants, gloves, hats, etc. And so right now, the bidding, there's one bid at $40, and this has 23 hours left.
Somebody is going to make a killing.
Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna make a killing on that.
And
Is there one more?
somebody-
Is there one more picture? Or is that it?
I think we
Oh, okay.
we got to the end of it.
Somebody also came home to changed locks and all of their camo gone too.
Right.
Right. But anyway, it's pretty slick, and you got to think too, like so many people go hunting, they buy a lot of gear, and then in a couple of years or the next year, depending on who the person is, they buy more gear. They realize whatever they had before wasn't right, and then they go out and get the right thing if they have the means to. And a lot of times that stuff ends up sitting around their house and they kind of don't really know what to do with it. So if you know somebody, that's a time where you maybe say, hey, I never seen you wear that or use that, But eventually push can come to shove with these folks when they look at their closet and it just looks like a tornado went off in there. And they just head to eBay and just, I want to get rid of it all. I've definitely had those moments in the past where it's like, I know I could get more out of this, but I place a value on cleanliness and organization and just getting this out of here that I'm just going to sell it for just cheap so it goes ASAP.
Yep.
And if you're around when somebody else wants to do that, boom.
I'm going to tell you, Mark's a pretty sharp dresser, and I've always admired that. And I asked him one time where he got a particular garment that was pretty technical and fancy, and he mentioned that his wife is a Goodwill sniper. Like, she's got Goodwill dialed.
Yeah.
There's another place
that's huge that we haven't even talked about.
Because it's not online, and we only give ourselves 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to tell you.
Mostly, casual wear she finds,
Yeah.
But, there's definitely hunting gear in there, right? I mean,
definitely.
There can be. I think you could get a little more
stuff. It's not going to be necessarily like dedicated hunting stuff.
Outdoor apparel.
Yeah. And that's the other thing that we should talk about too is that when I first started searching, I'd look up used or like hunting boots, hunting pants, hunting shirt.
Yep.
If you go out of the hunting realm a lot of times and just look at hiking stuff, outdoorsy stuff, rock climbing stuff, even though that stuff
workwear.
Workwear. You can find some really great stuff that you can absolutely use. And the interesting thing is too is you look at a lot of the technical clothing brands nowadays in hunting, and a lot of them started out at kind of like the outdoor retailer areas, like the REI kind of stuff. That rock climber, mountaineering. Skiing,
snowboarding.
Kind of that stuff. And they adapted similar technologies to make hunters, I guess, have better gear. Yep. And so if you kind of look in those realms, sometimes they might have more expensive stuff, but also sometimes you might find better deals too.
That dovetails, Jim, right into my list.
Well, and let me finish mine out quick because I have a Badlands. Got a Badlands 4,500 pack. 4,500. For $80 on eBay.
I'll tell you what, they'll do it all.
Which I argued was pinky up, but he came in underpriced.
Yeah, so $80 on eBay. Now, it did have like $25 shipping, and so I did as another option, so that kind of puts it up there a little bit. I did have as another option I found online right now, currently, Cabela's has, if my screen would load here, this is a Cabela's Alaskan one-frame pack for $105.
That's a good pack.
So you got a frame pack. Again, that should be able to do a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the pack I picked was dismal.
Mine as well. $10.
So then
it was, had the pole and the little red handkerchief.
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah. Right. So other than that, I found some orange stuff, orange hat, orange vest on Amazon for a combined $8. They're on Amazon Prime, so you get free shipping. I found some wool long johns, thermal long johns, winter underwear on Amazon for $11.19. That's good stuff to have, especially in this time of the year. All right, for my optic, I did not go with the Raptor. I went with the Solo, because if you're really balling on a budget, all you need is one eye.
Now, Jim is not saying don't put your other eye out.
Don't gouge out an eye, but you just only need one, and you can get it in a 10 by 36 or a 10 by 25 or 8 by 25, 8 by 36, depending on where you are.
Good point.
If you need a closer look, it'll get you there.
It will. It absolutely will. And you can get them for $49. I think even the 25 millimeter ones, if you really want to, I think you can get for less than $49. I think I was looking at like a 10 by 36 or 8 by 36 or something. So, I mean, really, if you want to just look at something that's far away and make it look closer to you, and you want something that's light and portable. Also, okay, here's the thing too, is I don't want to downplay the Solo. I don't go anywhere without my Solo.
No,
it's always in my glove box or in my center armrest because it's the best optic you have on you. Or the best optic is the one you have on you.
Sold 2 today in the showroom.
Fantastic. Yeah. And it's good to have. So that's my kit. I don't know if you guys probably, like I said, I didn't get decoys. I factored in ammunition altogether here. Altogether, I was at $475.
Gosh. You had room to, I mean, you could have done a blind, decoys.
Right.
Man.
That's kind of some of the stuff that I don't really know to get. Like
you
the only stuff that
$475.
I know to get thus far is stuff that I could just wear on me and just kind of like still hunt the woods or something for squirrels or deer or whatever. That's all I know.
Which you can
until
do
I get
a lot
more
of
into,
stuff with that. You know?
Oh yeah.
You can put a lot of meat in the freezer doing just that.
Right. Waterfowl is something I'm very interested in. I definitely want to get. In fact, I mean, I am getting a shotgun, and I'd like to get it more into it and hunting turkey birds too. But
that will for
we
sure be
shall.
happening.
all right, Mark, your turn.
All right.
Has the monster hasn't worn off yet? We almost should have had you go first. So we could have gotten like, people would have been sitting there trying to be like, "Whoa, hey, how did I turn this on 2 times speed?" Or something.
It was ineligible.
I'm still a little jacked up. I think the real words will start coming out now. So if we're coming down, I'll probably crash at the table. Wake me up. No, Jim, to your point, we're talking about multi-purpose clothing. Generally, I'd say a person going on their first hunt is probably going to be an in-state hunt. I'd say probably, not every time. But so you probably have clothing appropriate to the region that you live in. All 4 seasons. If you get 4 seasons, if you live in a warmer climate state, you probably have warmer climate stuff. Any way you cut it, you generally wear clothes probably on a daily basis. Yep. Now, the list that I came up with is geared towards, it's like a deer hunting list. Or a general big game list.
So you didn't go with a shotgun?
I didn't go with a shotgun.
Something a little different.
Not that you can't kill a deer with a shotgun. You certainly can.
Yeah. In some states, you can shoot turkeys with rifles.
In some states, you can shoot. Yeah. South Dakota, Texas, I believe you can.
Probably. You can do a lot of stuff in
Anything in
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Then you don't need a
There's
call.
no rules. What'd you say, Eric?
Then you don't need a call.
You saved $11.
Within 500 yards.
Well, he's spending that on the rifle.
I geared my entire list around saving that $11. But so east or west, we have deer. Tons of whitetails east of the Mississippi, tons of whitetails west of the Mississippi, and you got a few other species of deer as well. But I found online, and I didn't write down where I found these things, but in 20 minutes, I was making this list with a little bit of haste. $284 for a Savage Access 30-06.
That's a good cartridge.
America's cartridge, good cartridge. You can kill anything in North America with it.
You can find 30-06 at the gas station.
You can find 30-06 at the gas station. And, pretty darn good rifle, and you don't have a whole lot into it. I'm jumping around. Jumping around here. I found a set of boots online. Cabela's Iron Ridge with 400-gram thinsulate. Appears to be an all-leather boot. $35.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, they're selling them new in the bargain cave for $80 right
My
now.
dad wore those boots.
So you're getting like more than half off.
There you go. Your dad's worn those?
He wore those on our Montana hunt. I mean, we were hiking all over the place. He was just as comfortable as I was. I mean, who knows? But my boots were way more expensive, and he was able to do the hunt just as well as I was,
So, I mean, that to me was a steal. And some of these, like I said, we found these things online. Haven't proved them out personally. That's cool that your dad's used those boots. I mean, and actually they had really good reviews online.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So that was definitely solid. I found a pack. Now, again, this is going towards deer hunting, and with the potential that you may have to cut a deer up and actually put it in your backpack. Again, this is a pack I have zero knowledge of, but it was a 3,400 cubic inch internal frame pack, Teton Sports Scout. I don't even know if this is correct. $14.99. It seems impossible. It looked like it was definitely. It wasn't camo. I'm going to shock the world right now, and this goes into my my apparel, my hunting apparel topic as well. Just because it's not in camo doesn't mean you can't hunt in it. Particularly with this list that I'm creating for a rifle hunt.
I'm looking it up right now.
I think
if
Mark buys that pack on that link, somebody's got his credit card number.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Well, hold on though, because I looked up Teton frame pack, and So $14.99 seems a little lofty. I don't know what's going on there, but generally speaking, they go
you
for
find
about
that-
$60.
Yeah, and I'd buy. I mean, that
Which for a frame pack, 3,400. Who knows how long it'll last you? But look, we're talking about getting you by. We're not talking about hiking up the Rockies and whatever. We're talking about and doing like the most technical, crazy stuff ever.
It's kind of a black / forest green color.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, you got some natural tones in there. And actually, just looking at it, the pocket configuration seems pretty useful,
Yes.
intuitive. You'd have room for all your gear, and like I said, if you need to cut
Put a
up a deer, you
sandwich
could
up
probably
there.
put one in there.
You could put
Or-
a sandwich in there.
Yep, I think so. I'm looking at it.
It's got hydration. Let's see. Perfectly sized for youth and light backpackers.
They look like they're having a good time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Durable hiking pack. Let's see here. Safety yellow rainfly. Oh. Safety yellow. That's
Interesting.
good. I'm trying to look to see if it has any kind of like a. No, that's solid, man. All right, good find. Good find, Mark. The
So
$14.99 thing, watch out for that.
Yeah.
I think.
buyer beware. You got to have a headlamp. We're going bare bones. I'm going with the essentials here. I found a Coast dual color headlamp, $13.99.
Pretty good.
What's the other color? Is it red?
I think it might have been red.
That's
probably
good.
red.
Red's
Yeah.
an important thing
Why is that?
because it preserves your night vision.
Yeah, but why do you
Okay.
care about your night vision when you have a light on your
Well,
face?
if you're doing small like remedial tasks in camp and it's late and dark, you turn your big light on, everything's bright. Oh, I can't see anything. Turn on red, you're like, oh, this is comfortable. I can navigate. And
Whenever
Well-
I turn it on red, I always feel like I'm watching a horror movie.
I always thought it was something to do with like game can't see green and red. I've heard that before. Like, is there
Well, hold
anything
on
to
a sec.
that?
I know when I've spotlighted coyotes with a red lens spotlight, it's
Uh-huh.
like it's there. It's
Yeah.
like it's not even there.
What's the deal?
the red headlamp is so that you preserve your night vision.
Okay.
The headlamp.
You're
yeah.
right on the spotlight part.
But I guess I also thought too, like you're going into your tree stand, maybe you need a little bit of light, but not full light. You want to preserve your night vision as well as maybe not spook game with with a white light, whatever
Interesting.
So
salt
they don't.
there
They,
is to that. I
instead
don't
of
know.
just making a really, really, really potentially dim light, they make it a red light.
Anyway, heck of a bargain. I've got something
Nice
on.
bargain.
I've got something on here that you guys
Didn't
have.
I thought about it for a second, left it out.
And this is oh great. I didn't write it's an Onyx Maps single state membership, I believe. Now I might be quoting this wrong. I looked at it
Hint, hint.
really quick. $29.99. And I bring that up not only because you're talking about a new hunter, so they've got a couple reasons here.
Yeah, it's good to be.
You need to find a place to hunt.
Yeah.
So it's going to
All
help
right.
you. It's
All
going to
right.
help you do that. And it's also going to save you money on buying a GPS.
Here's,
I'm going to
dual
give Mark.
purpose.
I'm going to
Here's
give
one
Mark some
thing.
extra points on that one. That was well played.
here's one
sir.
thing.
And getting home safe,
yeah.
It's true.
being able to drop a waypoint at the truck or whatever and get back to it, pretty darn important. Maybe particularly for somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience in the woods, or for me who just always gets turned around.
Look, here's something. Here's one thing I will say though. So for those who, a membership or whatever you would call this, a subscription on your phone sounds a little scary too. Sometimes I know that I've been a little scared of them at times because it's like, this thing's gonna auto renew. Next thing I know, I'm in a tight situation. It tries to auto renew a year later, and I go in the red. Whatever. I don't know.
You're going to renew it anyway.
I mean, you're gonna want to. Look, I love Onyx. I rely on. I want to have Onyx, right? That said, I remember when I first started looking at spots to hunt around here, I went onto the DNR's website, and they had highlighted hunting areas for various different sporting seasons.
Yeah, the state of
And-
Wisconsin is called Go Wild. The
Yeah.
app is free.
And you could find all those spots. So that was free.
Okay.
And then if you're going to be able to download Onyx, you have a smartphone. And if you have a smartphone, then you can get Google Earth for free.
Yep.
Or one of these, you have Google Maps, you've got Apple Maps, you've got all this stuff.
Can you use that like offline though?
You
That's
can.
a good
You
question.
Can.
I think you can.
You can.
Okay.
Similar to Onyx, you have to save an offline location, and you can still use it. It doesn't have Google Maps anyway. Speaking directly to Google Maps, it doesn't have the private public information as accurate as Onyx does.
Yeah.
That said, you can turn off your aerial imagery and just go to Street View where everything is like white and then it has the streets or whatever, and it'll have a for the most part, and this isn't specific to like BLM, public lands or like parks. It'll have like a green boundary.
Yeah, if it's a state or government owned park.
It's not
land.
perfect, but I'm just saying.
Certainly doable.
Right.
If you've got your kit specced out to the max and you're like, okay, I just can't spend any more money. I just got to get out there. Utilizing your DNR's resources. I don't know what it's like in the other places, but I know that here in Wisconsin, they had some nice maps for certain areas. I actually looked up, I'd find an area, and then I would Google that area, and sometimes that like a park might have its own website or own section within the DNR's website that would have details on where you could hunt, when you could hunt, how to hunt, things like that. And then, Google Earth. Now,
and full disclosure, I did just switch it over to that satellite view or whatever, or non-satellite view, and there's stuff that I know is public that's not showing up. But generally speaking,
not perfect.
I got a couple of
Onyx is
Eric's
amazing.
waypoints here.
It is much
pretty good.
better experience to use Onyx. There's so many different tools and things that you can use. Onyx is the way to go. If you got 30 extra bucks in your budget, get it. You won't be sorry that you did. All right. I interrupted, Mark.
No, that's good.
apologize.
All good points. I splurged on my optics a little bit. I went.
Rock on, dude.
I
Look
found.
at that.
I found a set of Diamondback, the new Diamondback 10x50s
New
for
ones?
$120.
Like the new looking models with the wow.
Where'd you find those?
Did you find it?
You know what? I was going fast and furious. I didn't write where I found it.
Was it like are they used though?
They're used. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, that's solid.
Yeah.
Get a used set of Diamondback 10x50s, and
We should.
if the dude
we should
ships
mention
them,
that.
if the dude ships them to you, yeah, we should mention that. Okay, you're looking for optics, and you stumble across this. This literally happened within the last month or two. Some dude's out there, and at a garage sale, some guy has a Gen 1 PST of some. It was one of the very early models of some strange reticle that we didn't have anymore. Whatever, I don't know. He found this Gen 1 PST. And he went up to the guy. He's like, "Hey, how much do you want for this thing?" And the guy didn't even realize what he had. I don't think, because he was like, it's I dropped it a long time ago. Like I took a spill with it at the range on a concrete cement pad. Like you can see something's messed up with it or whatever. Like glass was cracked.
Just
or
a
something.
power slide gone awry.
Yeah, I mean your classic, whatever. Yeah. Classic sledgehammer truck delivery truck accident.
Yeah.
Classic.
And so he was like,
Been there.
He's like, I'll sell it to you for like $10.
Oh my
And the
God.
dude was
shit.
like, oh yeah, kept his composure probably,
Yeah.
if he was thinking right. Yeah, okay, I'll buy it from you for $10.
I've
Bought
been,
it for $10.
I've been like 5.
Sent it in for warranty. Bam, new PST. And we didn't have that model anymore. It was like so far beyond repair. We didn't have that model anymore. It was like, I don't know what happened. He ended up getting a Gen 2 PST. I can't guarantee
Holy
that's
cow.
always going to happen to
No.
every single person, right? Because I do know we have a lot of parts of those old Gen 1 PST. Something was weird about it that it wouldn't work. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, ends up getting a brand new scope. Either way, regardless of what scope it is, dude spent like $10 and got a new scope.
That's a good deal.
So you can buy with confidence if you're buying a used Vortex optic. That's what we're getting at.
That's pretty
That's
rad.
a good point.
Pretty rad.
So if you bought those Diamondback 10x50s for $120, and whoever was selling them was like, sucker, I got your money, and then takes your $120 and sends you a plastic bag full of Diamondback 10x50 parts, you can actually tell him, sucker, I'm getting a new bino.
When you buy Vortex optics, you buy optics for life.
Darn right.
All right.
Good plug for the home team. Found a Schrade folding knife.
Oh, hold up. You skipped the crossfire.
Oh wait,
That's
excuse
going
me.
on your
More
rifle.
optics. So yeah, I need to top this this bad boy Savage Access 30-06 with a rifle scope. Found a and I'll be I didn't look that hard. I wouldn't be surprised if you could find something a little bit better. Found a Crossfire 2, 3-9, classic rifle scope configuration, pretty darn solid optics.
Slays a lot of deer every year.
They kill a lot of deer. $146.
What kind of rings did you go with?
That's off my list. I didn't have time.
What about your base?
Does that rifle need a base?
I think it came with one.
SOB.
Ooh, came
I
with-
do believe you
comes
can
with
get
it,
the
that's-
Savage Access in a combo.
with a Vortex Crossfire.
Yeah.
on it.
Yep.
Yeah, in fact.
That I didn't find.
You can.
I'd be
I don't-
I
I'd be
don't know
curious
what the
to
price
see
is on
what
that.
you'd find that for.
I'm going to look it up while you're talking.
I think Mark's going to come out ahead though on this one.
Yeah.
You got a pretty
Well,
good
no,
deal.
you know what? I can't. I'm a little high. I came.
I thought what you said was like $240.
That scope?
The rifle.
No, the rifle was $284.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying my total, my grand total when I tallied it
Okay.
came in a little hot. But the Schrade folder, I don't have any experience with this knife. Looked like a decent knife. Kind of a classic blade length. I think it's like a 2.5 to 3 inch blade length. Folding knife, $13.99.
Ooh.
Do you have any experience with Schrades?
Yeah, I'd say that back in my youth, I reckon I probably had a Schrade or two. I used to sell Schrade knives at the gun shop I worked at.
If you can get a knife with a half serrated blade, then you can cut the rib cage out and have amazing ribs.
That was, you had a very high quality knife with a serrated blade.
True.
That did that job. We did some pretty
Benchmade.
hashtag Benchmade. We did some pretty serious work.
The
there.
triage.
You know what's
the
interesting?
triage with the flat point on it for a pry tip. The triage has a front portion that's just a regular blade, and then a rear portion towards your hand that's a serrated blade. And we cut through the rib cage with the serrated portion, and due to the flat tip, we did not puncture any guts
The remainder of the deer was cleaned with this knife.
with that
This little Benchmade.
little Benchmade.
Yes. Very
good.
light.
I was rocking their. Gosh, I don't know what the name is. It's the fixed blade Benchmade with the gut hook, and that knife does some work.
We have to have a whole separate conversation on this podcast eventually about the gut hook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hours of conversation.
Yes.
Again, we're talking about stuff. These items are to get you in the woods.
Yeah.
So that's $13.99 for a knife. I found, and again, going back to the clothing, most of the clothing that you have to be in your area or be outside, or whether you like to, maybe you live in a colder climate and you like to ski or whatever, you probably have a lot of the base layers and this, that, the other already. Like, you own those things. So
Potentially even your outer layers. Solids will work.
solids will work. If you've got, I guess I'd recommend, and it probably isn't even crucial, it might be more in my head than anything, but, if you've got an earth tone jacket
Yeah.
and an earth tone pant, soft shells are super popular now.
Yeah.
Things of that nature, you might be ready to rock. And like I said, this is for a rifle hunt. Camo isn't necessarily a super big deal. I hunt in solids quite a bit. Even when I archery hunt, I generally wear solid pants. And really the only reason I added camo outerwear was, and really for my package, you don't need it, was potentially if you were hunting turkeys or ducks or something like that, where camo actually can make a difference.
I'd also say too, though, that many a fowl and furred animal were felled over the course of probably 2 centuries without camouflage.
Absolutely.
You can do that
Foul
with it.
and furred and felled.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've got a Cabela's rain suede jacket I found here for $44.99. And then I found a set of Cabela's, and I went radio silent on the podcast for a while, trying to find a pair of pants. I found a set of Cabela's men's Mountain Extreme soft shell wind shear waterproof hunting pant for $79 to $129. I just wrote down $79 because I think you could find a decent outer shell That's also waterproof. That's camo for probably that, $50 to $80 range, no problem. So, if you looked around a little bit more than I did. But so my grand total, like I said, I topped out a little bit high with all that stuff. Get my phone up here. $782.94.
All right.
It's respectable. I
So
mean,
you're for the opulent person on a budget.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
But I thought our initial number was $750.
$700.
$700.
well, you didn't do bad. I'd say either
Pick
way.
up an extra shift.
Either way, it's that simple. Either way, I think that you had some good discussion points in there to talk about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, and plus, you went. So, interestingly enough, you went the route too of going with a rifle rather than a shotgun. So you ended up having to have the rifle scope and the rings and the bases, and you ended up going with a nicer binocular too. So there's a few of these areas that you're just. I mean, I guess in a way, Mark's to show what happens if you don't follow the rules of this podcast. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, if you were to kind of get some of these higher dollar items, for example, this is kind of where you'd be at. But actually, still even at shy of $800, that's
what I was
You're
about to say.
You're talking
because that's
rifle.
a brand new rifle too.
And Mark
Yeah,
has
I think it
also
was, yeah.
secured the ability to now go chase a separate species of big game somewhere else with a higher degree, probably, of success. You're
with the frame pack.
You're almost on your way to, a sheep hunt.
Yep. Mark's face right now. If anybody hears like a tea kettle sound followed by an explosion, that's Mark's head. So, okay.
Get home safe.
Last thing that I think we should bring up too. Tag prices.
Ooh.
All right. Now, tag prices can go in any number of different directions. There are some hunts out there that are really dang expensive. But there's a lot of hunts that you could spend. I mean, what is a small game? What is a small game license here and a deer license?
I've got a perfect one for Wisconsin,
$24.
but better than that.
The first
better
time.
than that. If you're a first-time hunter in the state of Wisconsin, your license is half price.
For resident or non-resident.
No.
Yep.
No, for a resident, it's a $5 deer tag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
the
even less than
implications of that are phenomenal.
Yep.
I mean, and when it's full price, what's a doe tag? $14,
12.
$12. So we've got the holiday hunt coming up. How many doe tags can we get?
Depends on the county, but like Richland County, you get 4 with your license.
So, let's just say when I finally designated my doe tags as a resident, I picked Richland County. Of course, I haven't filled any of them yet. It was mandatory that I take these doe tags
for free
because I bought
your additional doe tags are the $12 ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Pretty serious.
For $24, you can put 5 deer in the freezer.
That's a lot of hunting.
Yeah,
Pretty serious.
That's a lot of venison right
Dude,
there.
yeah. Imagine. Wait, what did you say? Was it 4 or 5 deer?
5.
5
1
deer.
buck and 4 does.
I can't even fit 5 deer in my house right now, and I have a chest freezer and a freezer underneath my fridge. I wouldn't be able to do it.
We'll take Wisconsin as a case study here.
Yeah.
Now, oftentimes the cost of gear and tags like that, at least for me, I know personally, does not offset the cost of the hunt or the gear or
Correct.
this and that, the other. Now, you go in with a budget like this, and you lay down 5 deer, and we'll just say, what are we thinking average yield? If we're going to average yield
35 pounds.
You think that's all you're going to get off a doe?
45 pounds.
Conservative.
Yeah,
Conservative estimate.
Yeah.
Let's go average of 40. Gosh, just make the math easy, guys. Come on.
Let's do 50 for round numbers. We're throwing a buck in there.
Oh, okay.
It's corn. They're big corn fed.
Yeah.
Corn fed.
We got big deer.
50 pounds.
Can of
You know what?
corn.
If you take the ribs a little bit more, but we'll just
Yeah,
go 50
there we
pounds.
go.
All
say-
right. Yeah,
say-
so we're taking the ribs.
So 50,
Yeah.
we'll say times 5. Do the math for
250.
me, Ryan.
It's 250.
It looks at me. Do the math. Okay. 525.
and we'll just say a pound of hamburger right now. So we're talking low grade meat.
Oh no, let's talk. Okay, organic hamburger, a pound it's like $5.
No
a pound.
way.
Yes.
Wow.
I've been in the grocery store and I look and I'm like, oh, organic, $5 for
Okay,
It's
so
crazy.
$2.50. Yeah,
You already, if you do that times 5, you're already at, look at that, $1,250.
And we're just talking burger. We're not talking steaks or roasts or
That's
premium
an
cuts.
organic ground burger.
So that's like if you ground your entire deer and equated that to, quote, organic beef, you're making money.
Right.
Let's go shoot some deer.
On that note, you're making money.
Yeah.
Man, we've really turned this around from spending money to making money. But I mean, and then like small game tags too. Like, what do you if you want to go squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting,
like
all that
$20.
stuff? Yeah, I mean, really,
$24.
Yeah, and you can do that with a 12 gauge too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do it with your 30-06. 30-06 on them squirrels would be. Let's just look at it this way: they'll be dead.
I'll tell you what you can do. They make a 30-06 to 32 ACP adapter.
This is true.
What? It is the coolest thing on the planet. It is a 30-06 case made out of steel that has a removable rear insert that you put a 32 ACP cartridge in. It will fire an approximately like 60 grain or 70 grain bullet for a 32 ACP handgun out of your .6.
So you've just turned your .6
into whatever you want.
Into, wow.
Yep. I'm gonna look that up.
Have you ever tested the accuracy?
I haven't. So
what are those? What are those like .6 22s?
The accelerators?
Yeah.
They don't shoot that great, but when you do hit a Minnesota coyote with one, they do put them down.
Not optimal.
Not optimal.
The
But this 32 ACP thing is intriguing. You could go after small game.
32 ACP rifle chamber insert from the Sportsman's Guide. It's currently sold out. Shoot,
Son of a bee sting.
What is the price on it?
I'm looking. Oh, golly. Somebody fill the
This is the semi-live portion of our podcast.
Here we
Brought to you
go.
by Ryan Searching.
Let's see here. $21.25 from Numeric Gun Parts.
How do you not?
Cartridge conversion sleeve insert. .6 to 32 ACP rifle. New.
I'm kind of upset at the fact that I just ordered a 308.
Well, that's okay because they make it for 308 too.
What?
Yeah, correct.
You're in.
I'm in.
So 32
go ahead.
ACP, 1,100 foot per second. So very small game velocity appropriate. Now, I'll tell you 32 ACP is not the most common ammunition on the planet.
No.
But you can actually buy military surplus 32 ACP from a couple of different foreign interests. So you can buy very reasonably priced, 32 ACP out there. So if you have one rifle and you thought maybe you were stepping up a little bit too much for squirrels and rabbits and such, incorrect. This is perfect.
Incorrect.
Right there, 308 available.
Man, this is slick. Well, I like this. This is a good podcast. I'm glad we did this. I honestly didn't know how long we'd be able to last just talking about like these little spreadsheets that we made. Again, this was 20 to 25 minutes of searching, guys. So if you, to listeners out there, again, like we said, ball on a budget, we respect you. We think it's super cool that you're looking to get into this. If you have more than 20 minutes, chances are you're going to blow our numbers away.
Yeah.
Like, you are going to make us look silly. That's definitely possible. And, too, like, we didn't even, this was assuming that you literally have no relatives, no friends, no people that you bump into on the street, no people you work with that do hunting already or have hunted, that you could potentially, bum some old used gear off of, that you know how it was treated, you know how well taken care of it was, or potentially how not well taken care of it was, and then maybe that means you don't buy it. But this is all just assuming that's not the case. So again, like we said, you can blow these numbers away, but this was super fast, thrown together, and we still beat our $700 budget.
Yep.
I'll throw in a quick little strategy that a person could use.
Want this to be your last call, and then we'll just go around with it?
It could be.
All right.
So, new strategy, right? You don't the amount of gear available and stuff to wade through. Maybe you're looking through a big box retailer's catalog. Like, I want to go hunting, and it's just like, boom, you're like, oh my gosh, overwhelming, right?
Prices jumping off the page everywhere.
Here's what you need. I'll go back to my deer hunting thing, or maybe pick any activity. You need the firearm. You need a knife. You need a headlamp. I do think you need optics, and I'm not just saying that. I always say that, we sit in our Vortex chair here, but they are imperative. They will make your outdoor experience better. And, if you're going to define coming home with a game animal success, it's going to help you do that.
Are you saying rifle scopes or just like observation tools in general?
I mean,
depending on the hunt, maybe.
Because some states you can't use rifle scopes.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So fair enough. So yeah, you might be getting by without that.
Binos are arguably, I'd say, the most useful
Agreed. Completely.
optic tool.
You're going to need a decent set of footwear appropriate for the conditions, and that headlamp. And I'd throw in the Onyx Maps tool, because then you got your GPS and you got your public
doing
lands
anything illegal or
on
accident.
And then after that, so you might be able to maybe splurge on those items, right? Maybe you want to buy a little bit higher end stuff that's going to last you longer. And then the next year, you add a few more things.
Mm-hmm.
And the next year, you add a few more things. And with that strategy, you're going to maybe get better gear along the way. And then also, once you actually go hunting, you're going to realize what you need or don't need. The stuff that you find out you need, you'll find that out along the way naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe when you're out there, you're going to wish that you had it. But
I like it.
Okay, that's maybe my last call. I'm sure I'm going to have another one.
That's fine. I have two, but I'm only going to say one because I'm quite certain either Ryan or Eric will take the first one that I thought of, which has to do with essentially how much more you'll appreciate good gear after doing this later on. But the one that I will say is, so let's say you have decided to take the leap and you're going to go and you're going to shop for some of these things, kind of on a bargain hunting basis here. You're going to find some stuff, and we were all kind of asking each other, we're like, does this stuff have to actually like last forever? Does it have to be amazing? We're like, no, it just has to work. You will find some stuff that will probably suck.
Yep.
Undoubtedly. Some of this stuff, you're going to get it, and you're just going to be miserable with it.
The guy that sold you the $14 backpack may empty your bank account.
That could happen. You're going to find some stuff that just you're indifferent about. And honestly, you'll probably surprise yourself and find a few things here and there that you just love, and you started out buying like it wasn't very expensive, and so you saved yourself the trouble of going and buying the really expensive version because you just found out that you actually like the really inexpensive version. And what I'm getting at with this is either way, you're going to get out there and you're going to get hunting. A lot of the same stuff can apply to shooting too, I guess, but we didn't really cover that ground here so much. But you're going to get out, you're going to do it. And we assumed in this case, again, like we said, that you had no friends, no family, no coworkers, nothing. Well, who hunted, who had this kind of gear that you could maybe get some hand-me-downs from. Well, now that you've done it, you have become the person that the people that you do know who don't really go hunting or anything like that, you've become the person that does hunt and does go out there and use these kinds of things. And maybe later on down the line, you can be the person that somebody else goes to and says, hey, do you got any old gear that you don't use anymore? And you go rummaging around through and you say, here's this jacket that I got for $10 on Craigslist. It's the warmest freaking jacket you ever did see. I don't use it anymore because it's kind of heavy and I got a lighter weight jacket later on. But you will not get cold in this jacket. Here you go. And now that person, for free, or I don't know, if you don't really like them that much, you sell it to them for $15, but for relatively inexpensive. Now that person was able to use you as kind of their bargain way to get into the sport too. So I just think that kind of angle is cool about this as well. So
absolutely.
Eric?
So a lot of this is assuming that you're maybe on the fence of hunting, getting into it. You're looking at costs as a barrier to entry. Take advantage of a learn to hunt in your state. Backcountry hunters and anglers NWTF, QDMA, the list goes on and on. All those organizations are going to have learn to hunt opportunities where you can literally test drive whatever kind of hunting you're doing before you dive in. In doing that, you're going to understand whether or not you want to invest money into this, and you're also going to make connections. So when you do decide that you want to get some of this stuff, now you have somebody that you can pull on their coattails and say, hey, I had a lot of fun with you last spring on that turkey hunt. Do you think you would mind if I borrowed your turkey vest? Enter item here. Now you're hunting.
Boom.
Go on and learn to hunt.
Love it.
Jimmy, you kind of took a big part of what mine was. For those of you listening who are already established in hunting and you already have your fancy gear and your nice boots and things, like Jim said, consider going through and if you're like me, and I'm sure a lot of folks are, your piles of stuff that you've accrued over the years that you're not using, clean it out and get somebody involved.
Yep.
Be the Craigslist hunter catalyst and put it up. And if you really want to put yourself into the shoes of somebody who might be intimidated to do this, go back to your roots, put on your duck camo and go hunt deer. Like I did when I was a kid, and like a lot of us did when we were a kid. We were talking about expensive things that we liked, that we replaced with inexpensive things. And I'm reminded of a short story in which I used to hunt waterfowl pretty obsessively growing up. And I had a really nice goose call. It was very expensive. It was like a $150 goose call. And we would kill a bunch of geese with it. And over time, everybody had this goose call, right? And so it was like the most famous goose call you could buy, and everybody's running it. And geese became less responsive to calls, so it seemed. So we switched to our $15 Big River flutes, and man, did we smash geese! You never know what that old piece of kit you had in your loadout that you thought was obsolete may actually be the ticket. So
there you have
it. It was like a 4-part.
I need to get
call.
I need to get my Big River flute from my buddy that it mysteriously ended up in his kit.
Nothing
and never came back.
Nothing beats the silky tones of the Big River flute.
The silky tones. I thought you were going to get the fact that when you when you start out with this stuff, you will then probably appreciate it a lot when you get into some of the more technical.
You
gear.
do.
I mean, people who just start out with the technical gear, I mean, they're going to appreciate it.
Sure,
but maybe not as much as the guy who was out there in his poly, fleece, cotton, blend, heavy, wet.
To quote Eric, 4 hooded sweatshirts.
Exactly.
But it got it. I mean, probably weren't the most comfortable all the time, but it got it done. And
you got home at the end
exactly.
of the night.
Yep.
I was going to give a quick shout out to Mark Kenyon over at Wired to Hunt, because when I was looking for some of this stuff, I hit him up on his site. He's got an article written up 7 places or online options for getting hunting gear cheap. And these are some of the options I went to. So he mentions Camo Fire. That's a place we actually had the folks from Camo Fire and Black Ovis on the podcast not long ago. And Camo Fire is essentially kind of like a flash hunting gear deal site. In fact, right now I know they're selling the old Gen 1 Razor spotting scopes and some of the discontinued Razor HD Light Hunters, or LH rifle scopes. Amazing rifle scopes, by the way. You should scoop one up if you can. Especially the 1.5 to 8. We all love the 1.5 to 8. Hunt of the Day. It's a daily deals site for hunt stuff. Devor. I actually didn't go on to that one, but it's similar to Camo Fire, but I guess you have to have an account, perhaps. The Climb, CLYMB. Archery Talk, they have a classified section. I did go in there.
Yeah.
I got made fun of by Eric for wanting to get a pack that he thought was pretty posh. For what we're trying to do here. Pinky Up. And then, of course, Craigslist, eBay, and Sierra Trading Post.
Oh, yeah.
So a couple of places that he mentioned. So anyways, just shout out to them quick because they had a good article on this as well. But yeah, what do you guys think? Put a cap on this one?
Cap it.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun indeed. Thanks everybody for listening. Check us out on Instagram as usual. Maybe we might have some pictures of our lists or something like that up on the IG. Anyway, happy hunting everybody and shooting. We'll see you next time.
Get outside.
See you, bye.
Bye.
Bye.